This week we're driving east across the country. We started in Grand Teton National Park, which was incredibly beautiful and majestic. We're in the Grand Tetons and heading up to Jackson, Wyoming, and we've been climbing up the mountain for a long time, and the engine is getting really hot. So what we decided to do, because there's a lot more climbing before we get through the pass too, we decided to unhitch the Jeep and give the engine a break and let her cool down a bit here, heading up the rest of the mountains here without towing, and then of course going down it's going to be easier without the Jeep pushing. So Carol's going to drive the Jeep and we're going to drive the motorhome, and we'll see you on the other side of Teton Pass.
We arrived in Jackson Hole on the 4th of July and got to see some awesome fireworks and explore the beautiful town. After we explored Jackson Hole, we drove to a camp within the park and got to spend a couple days exploring the Grand Tetons and seeing everything that it has to offer. We got to see so much wildlife and incredible scenery, and of course the majestic mountains of the Grand Teton Range.
How are y'all today?
Good, thanks.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. Next morning we got up early, packed up our camp, and started heading north into Yellowstone National Park.
First thing on our list was the world famous Old Faithful geyser. It was named Old Faithful because of how predictable its eruptions are. About 90 minutes, give or take 10 minutes. We waited about a half an hour and were rewarded with an amazing geothermal show.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
After watching Old Faithful, we carried on through the park. We got to stop along the way at some incredibly active and amazing geothermal areas.
It reminded us a lot of Rotorua in New Zealand, only on a larger scale. The scenery within Yellowstone Park is so dynamic and changing. As you drive every 20 minutes or so, the landscape changes. And after we left the geothermal area, we moved into where the buffalo roam, where
awesome.
you're going to give me a home, and the antelope play and all that stuff. It was really cool.
Whenever we get to a new national park, we love to watch Ken Burns' film series called America's Best Idea.
It's a 6-disc set, available from PBS, and I highly recommend you get it for your family. It's both educational and entertaining. I had no idea how much went into creating these parks, and it makes us extremely thankful for all the men and women who put so much effort, time, and money into preserving these national treasures so that generations later we can still enjoy them. It makes us want to do our part to preserve them for future generations as well. we were in the park, we had no Wi-Fi, and we relied pretty heavily on our GPS. So we were just guessing. We had 3 options of how to go outside of the park or how to exit the park, and we chose the east exit.
The scariest one.
It turned out to be a drive through the mountains and an incredible adventure that we didn't expect.
I think that was my favorite part, actually, in that whole road. What's it called?
Beartooth Pass.
Beartooth Pass. Sometimes when you take the wrong turn, it turns out to be the best turn. We ended up on top of a 10,500 foot mountain with a motorhome towing a Jeep. Pretty impressed with the equipment because she did really well driving all the way up there, but man, was it ever cool. To add to the adventure, we were running low on fuel. Our reserve fuel light was on, and we are in the middle of the wilderness, still going up and up and up and up. And you know what it's like, every 10 feet you go up is the 10 feet you need to come down as well on the other side. Head out now, we want to get down before it gets too dark. We don't want to be on these windy curves and 1,000-foot cliffs in the dark. But we made it safely, and
on the top, though, the kids got to get out and play in the snow and enjoy the surrounding beauty. It was seriously a 360 view.
It was incredible views. Still
Playing
deep
in the snow in the middle of July.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. It was a really neat experience. The big sign said you're in grizzly country, so we thought if we run out of fuel, we'll be okay. We have the Jeep. We could always take off in the Jeep and get diesel, but we had no idea where the next town was and all that. So it was quite a fun experience. And then coming down the other side was an unbelievably steep and winding road, and we took our time and made it down safely. But you're going to enjoy some of the footage that we have to show you from that adventure.
All the way up this huge mountain. We had no idea where we were going here in Montana, but it led us to this amazing spot. We don't know exactly what's next, but we're hoping a gas station will come soon because we're about halfway full on gas. The sun is starting to set, but this view is incredible. Down the side of the mountain. What a white knuckle drive that was. We're still going down, actually. We're taking our time so as not to burn out our brakes. It's just hairpin turn after hairpin turn, so we'll let you know when we're at the bottom. But man, the scenery was spectacular. After that incredible adventure, we've been driving east on I-94 all the way across Montana. We're now in North Dakota. And this road, you've got to drive it sometime. It's like driving through an old Western movie. We want to say thank you to our 4,500 subscribers. That's awesome. We really appreciate you guys being a part of our journey. We also met a lot of really
awesome people in the last couple of weeks who are now subscribers. And also for all of you who are waiting for episode number 2 of our Jeep tour and our equipment tour, we're going to be filming that hopefully next week when we're in Ontario. And we'll get you all the information we can about how to overland, how to do an overland experience with your family. So for all of you out there, I hope you have your own awesome, epic family road trip. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.